what to do after finding out who would be the murderer at tonight's performance, based on the counted ballots. You see, there are a few things that Mr. St. John intended to put in the second act. Things like lines or actions that are clues to that person's identity. The cast will try to work these into the show. I just want to make sure you knew so you can continue to play armchair detective and guess the culprit's identity. Anyways, I guess that's it. For now. Anyways, relax and enjoy the conclusion of Birds in the Air. And lights.
Dead. I can't believe Grandfather's dead.
Really is, Cousin Simon. He's the deadest person I ever saw.
Funny you should say that. Bensonhurst and I were discussing the degrees of dead earlier.
Mother, please.
And he was murdered?
There's no doubt about it. You saw the body.
Poor Grandfather. If I had gotten here sooner,
How
maybe...
do we know you didn't get here sooner?
What?
For all we know, you could have arrived hours ago, parked your car out of sight, and slipped into the house and killed the lights moments before you killed Simon Starkweather.
That's ridiculous! Why would I kill him?
I'd say a third of a $50 billion fortune is a pretty good reason to knock somebody off. If your grandfather had signed that new will...
But I didn't know about the new will. I wasn't here when Grandfather explained that crazy cloning scene we talked about.
It would have been easy enough to hide outside the side door and eavesdrop on the conversation.
But why would I hide? I was expected here. I told you what happened.
Tell me again.
All right, fine. I had to creep at a snail's pace along that long country road from town. The rain was lashing my windshield so hard I could barely see. The wind was snapping branches off the trees and flinging them at my car. It was like driving through a hurricane. When I arrived at that old wooden bridge that spans the stream around the estate, I had to stop. The stream turned into a raging river and tore the bridge to pieces. But I remember there was a place about a mile from there where a tree had fallen across the stream. I used to play there when I was a kid. I managed to find the tree and walk across it, even though the raging waters nearly covered the trunk. Apparently, I got here just after Grandfather was murdered.
That's a good story, but it sounds rehearsed.
Yeah, not nearly enough. It's the truth, I swear.
Maybe, but I'm still not crossing you off my suspect list.
And who else do you have on that suspect list?
Everyone else in this house except Mr. Van Zandt and Miss Collins. They had a hell of a lot to gain if your grandfather had lived just a few more minutes. As it turns out, they're left out in the cold.
Especially me. Louis has other clients, and now I'm among the unemployed.
Listen, I'm sure once the estate is settled, we can arrange for you to be given a generous severance check, Kathy.
Take it out of your portion if you like. Mother and I will pass.
So will I. Oh, nothing personal, of course.
Of course.
What do we do now, Miss Davis?
Simon's story reminded me we could play some bridge.
The way I see it, we sit tight until daybreak. I'll have you show me the way to your car and drive me into town. I'll report what I know to the police, and I'll notify them that the bridge is out. My guess is they'll fly in by helicopter. They'll need to take the body to the coroner's office and examine the crime scene and take your statements. Once a homicide detective is put on the case, I'm out of here.
But you're a detective, and you're here when the murder occurred. You have a better chance of solving this than anyone else here.
Sorry, kid, but now that Mr. Starkweather's dead, I'm off the payroll. Once I give the big boys my statement, I'm finished.
I'll hire you to stay. I mean, I won't have my money until I get my portion of the inheritance, but if you're willing to wait...
You're on, kid. Incidentally, that offer dropped you to the bottom of my suspect list. Well, I might as well start earning my salary.
How can we help, Miss Davis?
First, I need to know the whereabouts of everyone when Mr. Starkweather was murdered.
Establish everyone's alibis.
Yeah. Also, I need to know anything all of you or the staff may have seen or heard in the last few hours that may lead us to identify the murderer.
Clues.
You got it. Motives, alibis, and clues. That's what a detective has to work with. The motives in this case are obvious. The other elements aren't yet. But I'm hoping that they will be by the time that I'm finished.
Sounds like a good plan to me. Who do you want to start with, Miss Davis?
Since you're paying the freight, call me Michelle. How about you, Miss Thompson? Do you mind being first?
Well, I'm awfully tired, but if I have to...
You don't have to, Paula. None of us do.
What do you mean?
I mean, Davis isn't a real police officer. We don't have to tell her the time of day.
Yeah, you have a point there, Jordan, but why would you refuse to cooperate? Unless you have something to hide.
Now look, Simon, don't go accusing me of murder unless you can prove it yourself.
Simon has a point. Do you want me to tell the police that everyone cooperated except you?
Oh, all right. I'll answer your dumb questions. But first, I'm gonna take Mother upstairs and have her lied out. She's getting up in years and needs her rest.
Why, thank you, Jordan. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but I'm not Betty White either.
Don't get excited. Are you okay? Do you need your digitalis?
No, but if I did, there's probably one or two still under the sofa. I had a little accident with my pill bottle earlier.
Come on. You can call for us when you're ready.
I assume you'll want to question everyone in private. You can wait with me in my room if you like, Kathy. I want to go over that old will again, since it will remain the official one.
Sure, Louis. Excuse us.
Follow me to the table, please, Miss Thompson.
I'd like to stay, if you don't mind. Hearing everybody's stories will give me a clear picture of what happened tonight at Starkweather Mansion.
You're the boss now. I am particularly interested in between the time Mr. Starkweather announced he was changing his will and the time his body was discovered.
How long was that?
Several hours. Well, Miss Thompson, did you observe anything in that time frame that might help us?
Well, I was very disappointed by Great Uncle Simon's announcement, as you might well imagine. I mean, I would understand why you might want to clone Tom Cruise or Ryan Reynolds, but Great Uncle Simon? No offense, Cousin Simon, but your granddaddy was not a very nice person. Well, anyway, I spent most of that time in my room. Oh, but I did come downstairs once on a little errand. I was outside the kitchen door when I heard Minerva and that cute little maid Nancy talking.
What's the matter with you, girl? Did you leave your mind in the other room? You haven't heard a word I said.
I'm sorry, Minerva, but I'm just so confused.
About what? Has that no-good scamp Jordan been bothering you?
Jordan? I mean Mr. Starkweather. What makes you say that?
When I walked in on the two of you in the living room, you were standing mighty close together. Real lovey-dovey-like. What was he saying to you?
I think that he wanted me to
do something you didn't want to do.
Yes, but it's not what you're thinking.
I'll bet he'd better stay away from you. If that boy tries anything, I'll cut him down to size.
Minerva, no, it's not like that. I heard him propose to Miss Collins. He went to...
I get the picture. When you lost your million, he lost interest in you, didn't he? He's following the money right to the Collins girl, isn't he?
He proposed to her, but she laughed at him.
Good for her. Serves him right, the lazy bum.
Don't call him that.
Ah, you are hung up on him, aren't you? Don't be a fool, Nancy. Jordan would just use you and toss you aside like he's done a dozen other girls I know of.
Maybe he's ready to settle down. If Mr. Starkweather hadn't cut him out of the will, Jordan would be
Free to do what?
Nothing. If we're finished here, I'd like to go back to my room.
Go on. Nancy,
Yes, ma'am?
lock your door.
Excuse me, folks. That little scene on stage was a flashback. It showed a conversation Paul overheard before the murder took place. The other characters' stories, well, portions of them, will be shown in flashback too. Isn't that clever? I just want to make sure you got that. That's all.
So, tell me, Mrs. Chert, did you see or hear anything suspicious earlier tonight?
Suspicious? I guess you called toting a gun around suspicious, even though Mr. Starkweather wasn't shot to death.
A gun? Who has a gun?
Besides me?
Paula Thompson, that's who. Claims she's a regular Annie Oakley. She even mentioned how easy it'd be for someone to come through that door and kill Mr. Starkweather.
Did she now?
Ask her yourself.
Anything else?
I did happen to overhear a rather odd conversation between Rufus and Mrs. Starkweather. I'd gone upstairs to distribute the candles to everyone in case of a power outage, which turned out to be very useful, as you know. And as I was about to turn down the corridor onto the west wing, I saw Mrs. Starkweather at the far end, near the stairs.
Oh dear, do we have enough?
Miss Starkweather.
Rufus, you scared me out of a year's growth.
That's okay, ma'am. At our age, we do a lot growing sideways, don't we?
Well, I certainly hope not. What are you doing with that television set? It doesn't look like a portable.
It is now. I'm borrowing it from one of the guest rooms that
ain't in use.
Whatever for.
Well, see, I ain't sleepy, so I thought I'd watch some TV. But the set in my room's all messed up. The color, I mean. Everybody on the Dad Blame channel's green. Ryan Reynolds, green. Terry Crews, green. Even that Roundmill fella, what's his name? Danny DeVito. Even he's green. Looks like every station star. Kermit the Frog.
How disconcerting.
You could say that again. Whatever it means. Say, are them breath mints? I wouldn't mind a few. I can still taste the crumb Minerva served us after supper.
These? Oh no, Rufus, these are digitalis. If you were to take any one of these pills, they could kill you.
In that case, I'll pass. You better be careful not to leave a bunch lying around by mistake. Somebody could eat them and, well, keel over dead.
That's entirely possible.
What would you put in their death certificate? Cause of death? Bad breath?
This isn't a laughing matter, Rufus. I'll be careful with them. I need these pills, you see. I need every one of them.
Rufus had an axe in the house?
Yes, Master Simon. I had instructed him to chop some firewood earlier.
I'm surprised you trust Rufus with an axe.
Personally, I wouldn't trust him with a butter knife. I was simply relaying Mr. Starkweather's instructions.
Was there anything else of interest you happened to notice?
Just one, madam. Earlier tonight, when I was coming from the kitchen, I noticed Master Jordan at the door to Mr. Starkweather's bedroom. The hall door, not that one. His behavior was somewhat furtive. I got the impression he was about to walk in when the door opened and Miss Withers came out. It was apparent that her unexpected appearance startled Master Jordan.
Well, what do you want?
I was going to check on Great Uncle Simon.
No need. That's what I'm paid to do.
How is he?
Still breathing, if that's what you're wondering about.
How much time do you think he has left, Miss Withers?
Let's just say, he needn't start reading any long novels, or even a short story.
But you think he'll make it through the night?
I think Mr. Starkweather will keep his heart beating through sheer determination, long enough to sign that new will. That is what you're asking about, isn't it?
You misjudge me, Miss Withers.
Give it a break, Jordan. You and nearly everyone else in this house would love to see him drop dead before daybreak.
Including you! $1 million is a fortune. A lot of people would kill for that money.
If that's a hint, forget it. As Mr. Starkweather's nurse, I would be the prime suspect if his death appeared to be anything but by natural causes.
Suspecting and proving are two very different things, Miss Withers.
I'm going to forget you said that. Good night, Jordan. It's true. Jordan Starkweather did hint that I was in a position to end his great-uncle's life in a way that would appear natural. I assume Bensonhurst also told you I refused?
He did, but you could have changed your mind.
And then killed him with a blood pressure cuff? That would have been foolish. Hardly what you'd call by natural causes.
I agree. The manner by which he was murdered makes no sense at all. Whoever did it.
It's as if the killer was flaunting the deed in our faces.
Why would they do that?
That's a good question. Tell me, Miss Withers, if you had to pick a likely suspect to be our murderer, who would it be?
Off the record, that Thompson girl, his great niece, is too goody-goody for my tastes. Oh, those southern girls can pour on the charm when they want to. But Scarlett O'Hara was pretty ruthless when you get down to it.
Well, we've been told Cousin Paula has a gun.
See what I mean? I dare say she and Jordan both were desperate to get their hands on Mr. Starkweather's billions. I overheard them talking earlier this evening. It was shortly after Mr. Van Zandt's announcement about the new will. They didn't notice me in the corridor.
Well, what are we gonna do?
Do? What can we do? It's out of our hands.
Don't be such a wimp, Cousin Jordan. That money rightfully belonged to us. There's gotta be a way to get it.
Maybe we could have the will broken if we get Great Uncle Simon declared insane.
I thought about that, but it won't work. If cloning was just a wild theory, we probably could, but it ain't. It's been done. Great Uncle Simon might be the first person to clone himself, and it most likely will be bizarre, but it ain't insane. We lose the case.
Yeah, and probably spend the pittance we're gonna inherit on the lawyers.
Yeah, like that Mr. Van Zandt, Wait a minute.
What? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking, if you can't beat him, join him.
What?
I just figured a way to get Mr. Van Zandt to put me on his team.
What is it?
Fend for yourself, Cousin Jordan. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to find me that lawyer.
You can... If you can't beat him... Oh, yeah! Now, where would that Kathy be?
It's true. Jordan did suggest we get married. It wasn't what you'd call a romantic proposal. It was more like a business proposition.
You were gonna have access to billions. What did Jordan have to offer you?
Himself, I guess. In my opinion, that fortune hunter wouldn't be worth 2 cents.
So you did turn him down.
Jordan is attractive in a smarmy sort of way, but any woman who married him would be a fool. And believe me, Michelle, I'm no fool.
I knew that from the moment we started working together.
You were smart enough to carry grandfather's clone.
Look, Simon, once Mr. Starkweather made up his mind to clone himself, nothing was going to change it. He would have found a surrogate mother somewhere, so it might as well have been me.
I understand. I just think the whole idea was sort of creepy.
You're a lot nicer about it than the other heirs were.
For example?
Paula, for one. She hadn't given up hope of getting her hands on his money.
How do you know?
I was in Lewis's room with him when Paula knocked on his door. She asked Lewis to step into the corridor where she could speak to him in private. Lewis went out with her. They didn't close the door completely, so I couldn't help but overhear their conversation.
We're very busy, Miss Thompson.
Preparing that new will?
Of course.
Mr. Van Zandt, you're a lawyer. Are you sure this cloning business is legal? I mean, you could lose your license to practice, couldn't you, if...
The process will be performed in Belgium, as we told you. Our laws don't apply there.
Well, what about ethics? Haven't lawyers been disbarred before for behavior that was unethical, if not illegal?
What's your point?
I want in on the deal. You can pay me from that trust fund of the baby's nanny or whatever. I don't care what you call the position. But if you refuse, I shall be forced to report you to the Bar Association. Isn't that what you call it?
It is. Let me give you a little free legal advice, Miss Thompson. In the first place, if you make any accusation against me before the cloning procedure has been completed successfully, I'll sue you for the $50,000 you're due to receive and everything else you own, and I'll get it. In the second place, once the baby's on the way, I plan to close down my office. It would bother me in the least if I should be disbarred. You don't have to be a lawyer to administer an estate. Anyone can do that.
Well...
So you see, young woman, your threats are meaningless. In fact, as an officer of the court, I should report your feeble attempts of extortion to the police.
Well, hey now...
Save it! Take your silly southern self out of my sight, and I might be willing to forget it.
All right, I'll go, you lawyer.
Excuse me.
Yes, Miss Trent?
I found what's left of the Christmas candles I had stored away. I figured they might come handy in case of a power outage. I suggest you keep one and some matches nearby.
Very thoughtful. Thank you. Kathy's in my room. I'll take one for her also.
Miss Thompson.
All right. I need to head to my room. There's something I need to get.
What's the matter with her?
Let's just say she's a poor loser. Miss Thompson placed her ace and I trumped it, in manner of speaking. I'll give this to Kathy.
If I recall correctly, when Kathy Collins saw Mr. Starkweather's body and screamed, you ran in through the front door. What had you been doing outside, Rufus?
Was I outside? Yeah, yes I was. I remember now. I I'd borrowed the TV from the guest room because I wanted to...
We heard why, Rufus.
You did? Man, news sure travels fast around here.
All the actors on your set were green?
Sure was. Looked like the Martians had landed or something. Anyway, when I hooked up the news set, picture didn't come in too good. Everybody was fuzzy. Fuzzy as a wool of worm. I went out back to try to turn the antenna around.
On the roof.
Well, it wouldn't do too good in the basement now, would it? I was about to get the tall ladder out of the storage shed when I heard the guy holler bloody murder. Well, murder anyway, even if it wasn't bloody.
Did you see or hear anything outside?
I saw an owl, and I heard a bunch of bullfrogs.
I meant humans.
Well, I did see Mr. Jordan on the patio. I'm not sure what he was doing out there, though.
Earlier tonight, Rufus, did you hear anyone talking about the new will?
Who didn't? Old Bensoners from Never going on and on about it in the kitchen. Before Mr. Stark was approached.
Well, what were they saying?
That it ain't fair, that's what. They worked hard for Mr. Starkweather. Should have got their millions. Me? I ain't care too much. Figured 50,000 to buy me a new TV with a real big screen.
Bensonhurst and Minerva.
Oh yeah. The more Minerva thought about it, the madder she got. Whew! That woman's got a temper on her. She was about ready to storm into Mr. Starkweather's room and give him a piece of her mind.
Minerva, you mustn't go in there.
Who's going to stop me?
I shall if necessary.
You and whose army?
I totally agree with you that we were wrong. But a confrontation's not the answer.
Oh yeah? Then what is?
Patience. Mr. Starkweather hasn't signed the will yet. Perhaps he'll change his mind by morning.
We should live so long.
No, Minerva. He should live so long.
What were you doing outside just before the murder, Mr. Starkweather?
Just getting a breath of fresh air. Anything wrong with that?
Not if you remained outside.
What do you mean?
When I made a cursory examination of the crime scene, I noticed that Miss Withers had left her window raised a couple of inches to let in some of that fresh air. Anyone could have climbed in and
Are you accusing me of killing Great Uncle Simon?
Calm down, Mr. Starkweather. I'm not accusing anyone yet.
Besides, from what we've heard, Cousin Jordan, it seems that trying to con someone into doing your bidding is more your style.
Who told you that?
I'll ask the questions if you don't mind. Let me ask you again. What were you doing outside?
If you must know, Kathy and I had a disagreement, and I blew up. Or have you already heard of it?
I question, you answer, remember?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. If you didn't murder Mr. Starkweather, who do you think did?
Look, I'm not saying she didn't. But have you talked to that little maid, Nancy?
Why her, Cousin Jordan?
The girl has a crush on me. I mean, yeah, I flirt with the ladies, but I really did nothing to lead her on. She was upset about the new will. Not that she would lose her money, but that I would lose even more. I had strolled around the house and was outside the kitchen door when I heard Nancy talking to Miss Withers.
Can I do something for you, Miss Withers? I needed fresh water to put by Mr. Starkweather's bedside. I've got it. That poor man. When he had the attack in the living room earlier, I realized what you meant before when you said the slightest shock could prove to be fatal. Exactly. The slightest shock. Isabel, I must go. Yes. We wouldn't want anything bad to happen to him, now would we? I was shocked when I found out that Mr. Starkweather had included me in his will. I didn't think that he even noticed me.
Then you must have received two surprises. To hear you'd inherit $1 million, and then have it be immediately taken away.
3 surprises, actually, because now you're wealthy again.
Oh, Mr. Starkweather, I was thrilled to be told that your grandfather was leaving me $50,000. With that, I could go to college and get a good education, just like you.
Well, now you can do anything you want, Nancy. What do you want to do?
I don't know. I haven't been thinking about myself much.
Who has been on your mind, Nancy? Jordan Starkweather, perhaps. You're very fond of him, no?
What makes you say that?
Well, Jordan told us, for one. He even implied you might be willing to kill for him.
He did what? How could he even say such a thing?
I'm sorry to hurt you, Nancy, but now you know what Jordan's really like. He's only out for himself. You know, trample anyone else is in his way.
I guess I knew that. I mean, Minerva tried to warn me. I even heard him propose to Miss Collins. Then she turned him down, and later laughed about it when she told her friend Mr. Van Zant. I was taking fresh guest towels to the bedrooms when I heard them. You think that Jordan is cold-hearted, but Miss Collins is just as bad as he is.
Can you believe it? Those soulful gazes might work on some innocent young thing like that named Nancy, but he learned quick enough that I'm no pushover.
I wish I'd been there to see it. It's time Jordan met his match. I could tell Nancy about some of those maids that worked here before him, but his Playboy days will be up soon enough, though.
What do you mean by that?
Up until now, Mr. Starkweather has given Jordan as well as Paula, Fiona, and young Mr. Simon a generous allowance. Once the $50,000 bequest is over, they'll have to learn what it's like to work for a living.
Simon's almost out of school. He'll do fine. But the others, they'll go through their money in no time. Then what kind of jobs can they get? Can you picture Paula behind the desk of a car rental agency?
Or Jordan driving cars out of lot for customers?
And what will Fiona do? Sell Avon?
Can I get anything for you, Cousin Fiona? Maybe a glass of water?
No, that's all right. I'm fine. Miss Davis, I just want you to know that my dear Jordan couldn't have done, oh dear, what was done, Uncle Simon. He was with me in my room all evening.
You know that can't be true, Mrs. Starkweather. Your son told us himself that he went outside, and I saw you in here earlier with Ben's nurse and Miss Withers.
Oh, maybe it was last night he sat with me.
Maybe it was.
Now I know why Jessica Fletcher never believed the suspects on Murder, She Wrote. It's so easy to get confused.
Please concentrate on tonight, Mrs. Starkweather. Do you recall seeing anything suspicious?
Suspicious. Well, I did see Uncle Simon's body with that horrible thing around his neck. I call that suspicious.
Michelle means before that, Cousin Fiona.
Before? Let me think. I don't know if this is the sort of thing you mean, but
Yeah?
it was right after we were told about the new will, and most of us had gone upstairs. I was walking past the living room when I heard the housekeeper and the secretary speaking. They were speaking quite loudly, so I couldn't help but overhear.
What are you doing in the living room, Miss Trent?
I was just checking all of the guest rooms to make sure there are enough blankets in each. I'm sure you're very pleased with yourself, Miss Collins.
And what do you mean by that?
It all worked out just as you planned.
Sorry, I don't know what you mean.
I think you do. Those news magazines and scientific journals where you've left him out for Mr. Starkweather to see him, you've done it for months.
What magazines?
Don't play dumb, Miss Collins. All of them, I've seen them, and they've all had one thing in common. Articles about cloning. I didn't realize it until tonight, but now it all makes sense. You planted the idea in Mr. Starkweather's head to clone himself.
What if I did? There are no laws against sharing ideas, are there?
I'm sure your lawyer friend would say no since you're in this together, but that doesn't make it right. I think what you're planning to do is hideous.
To be perfectly frank, I couldn't care less what you think. Get out!
Giving orders now, are we? Fine, I'll go. But just remember one thing, young lady. You're not Queen Bee yet, and you won't be. Not until Mr. Starkweather's name is on that dotted line, assuming that ever happens.
Kathy told me about Miss Trent's accusations that she possibly engineered the cloning business with my help. Apparently, Mrs. Starkweather reported their conversation accurately, which is something of a surprise.
Is it true? Did you and Kathy give Grandfather the idea to clone himself?
I don't really think that's relevant to the case at hand, Simon. Even if we did, we weren't breaking any laws. Wouldn't you agree, Miss Davis?
No laws I can think of.
Then shouldn't we focus on the law that was broken? I'm referring to the murder, of course.
You're right as usual, Mr. Van Zandt. Can you volunteer any information that might be helpful to us?
I will tell you this. I was heading to the kitchen to ask Minerva for a pot of coffee. It was apparent Kathy and I were going to be working late, and I thought the caffeine might help us stay awake. Minerva wasn't there, but Rufus was. He was talking to Fiona Starkweather. Their conversation was very peculiar.
Mrs. Starkweather.
Goodness, Rufus, what are you doing with that axe?
Brought it up from the woodpile. Sharpened up. Want to see?
No, put it away.
Maybe I oughta. Before it hurts somebody. Maybe even kills them.
That's a horrible thought.
Ain't it though? I get those sometimes. Do you?
Well,
I see you still got your poison pills.
Digitalis isn't a poison, it's a stimulant. You just have to be careful not to take too many.
I saw a lot more in that bottle when I saw you upstairs. I hope you haven't gone done and overdosed. I think I can figure out that mouth-to-mouth stuff.
If you bring those lips any closer, I will take that axe right out of your hands and chop them off.
Just trying to help, Mrs. Starkweather.
Well, don't. There are some fates worse than death, and I can assure you, however, that I am fine. I had spilled my pills earlier in the living room, and I wasn't able to find them.
I hope Minerva don't find none. She fixes Mr. Starkweather's meals, and she's mighty mad at him right now.
What are you suggesting?
Nothing. Was there something in the kitchen you needed?
I had just come to see if there was any leftovers of Minerva's delicious orders.
I can look.
That's all right. I seem to have lost my appetite.
Mr. Starkweather's meals, what do you want to know about them?
Who did he dine with? And did he eat the same food as everyone else?
Mr. Starkweather was on a very restricted diet, low salt, low fat, so I had to prepare his meals separately. Why do you want to know about the food? You think there's something wrong with my cooking?
You're a great cook, Minerva. The leg of lamb you served tonight was wonderful.
Yes. Well, I've often been told I have terrific legs. So, what's the problem?
Never mind. You told me what I need to know. Moving on. Do you recall who was in the kitchen when the lights went out? Before I got there, I mean.
The blackout? I'm not sure. Let me think. I was in the pantry checking supplies for breakfast when all of a sudden it went dark. It took me a moment to grab the candle Mrs. Trent gave me out of my pocket and light it.
Minerva, Nancy, is everyone all right?
I'm here, and I'm fine. I was out back when the lights went out.
I was in my room when everything went dark. What happened?
Benson has forgot to pay the light bill.
Keep that up and I'll forget to pay your wages.
What in blazes is going on? Apparently, the storm knocked out the electricity. My candles did come in handy, you see?
Remind me to give you a gold star later. Bensonhurst, can't you get the electricity back on?
That's exactly what I came to find out. Mr. Bensonhurst.
The circuit breaker's right over here.
I do hope they hurry. I don't much care for the dark.
That quick enough for you? I'll get back to my chore now.
What did he come inside for? The idiot chucked water all over my clean floor.
Why Mr. Starkweather doesn't fire him, I'll never know.
Any luck?
Yeah, it was there all right. But I wish I had more. It could take weeks to get the results. If the will is probated and the killer gets his or her inheritance before then, they could disappear for good. You can buy a new identity easily enough for $1 million or more. I just wish there was some way we can nab the guilty party tonight.
I just wish we could have gathered more evidence from interviewing the suspects.
Me too. They were so busy trying to make each other look guilty, they didn't reveal much about themselves. Sometimes the slightest. Simon, move your feet.
What is it?
Here, on the rug. I think it's... Yes, it is. Simon, I know who murdered your grandfather.
Who?
I'll tell everyone as soon as I gather the evidence. Quickly, go tell Bensonhurst I need to see everyone in here immediately.
Yes, ma'am.
Minerva sent me here to see if anyone would like a pot of coffee.
Never mind that. Get everybody down here on the double.
Yes, sir.
I don't think the police chief will mind if I use sandwich bags to gather the evidence. I don't think he'll mind at all.
What's going on? Well, if nobody else is gonna ask, I suppose I will. Why'd you call us all here at this hour?
It has been a long night, hasn't it? Well, I was hoping you all might rest easier knowing who murdered Simon Starkweather.
Wait, you mean to tell us that you figured out who killed Great Uncle Simon?
I'm pretty sure I have, as I'm going to show you in the next few moments.
I'm amazed, Michelle. How did you figure it out?
Well, first, I had to find the answer to a question that had bothered me from the beginning. It would have been so easy to make it appear that Mr. Starkweather had died of natural causes, a suggestion Jordan made to Miss Withers. For example, Mrs. Starkweather or her son could have given him some of her digitalis to trigger a heart attack. So could several others among you who were aware that she had them and had left several on the floor from when she spilled them earlier tonight. Miss Withers could have achieved the same results by injecting an air bubble into his bloodstream with a hypodermic needle. Again, any of you could have stolen a needle from her room and done the exact same thing. Also, it's highly probable that some of you considered frightening the old man to death. Minerva with her knife, Miss Thompson with her gun, Rufus with his axe, and Bensonhurst with his wrench. The possibilities are endless. Why then would the murderer choose to put a blood pressure cuff around the victim's neck and inflate it until he's strangled to death? The answer is so simple I feel foolish for not realizing sooner what must have really happened.
Might one ask what that is?
Obviously, when the blood pressure cuff was put around Mr. Starkweather's neck, he was already dead.
What?
Am I right, Mr. Van Zandt?
You really are very clever, Miss Davis.
It had to have been you. We were in here together when the lights went out. I went to go find Bensonhurst, and you went to check on Mr. Starkweather. The killer must have killed the man and slipped into Miss Withers' room seconds before you got there.
That's what I figured too.
But why would you put the blood pressure cuff around his neck?
As our able detective here has surmised, the murderer had made it appear Mr. Starkweather had had a heart attack. There was no doubt in my mind, however, that someone in this house had killed him. I knew under the circumstances the coroner would have no reason to perform an autopsy, nor would the police have any reason to have an investigation. I wasn't about to let my employer's murderer get away scot-free, so when I walked into his room, I noticed the blood pressure cuff next to him on the bed. I put it around his neck and inflated it before wheeling him into this very room.
And your plan worked. No one would question the fact he'd been murdered.
So young Simon hired Miss Davis to find the killer.
Which I have. That was very naughty of you, Mr. Van Zandt. Your little ploy distracted me from the main problem. Instead of asking who did it, I kept wondering, why did they do it that way? Once I answered that, the rest came easier.
Sorry, Miss Davis, but if you've discovered the identity of the murderer, the end seemed to have justified the means.
I imagine the police will agree, and they might even overlook the fact that you're guilty of tampering with evidence.
If not, I'm on very good terms with local judges.
Wait a minute. How do we know Mr. Van Zandt didn't kill Great Uncle Simon himself?
No motive.
Yeah.
Don't keep us in suspense, Michelle. Tell us who did kill him.
I'll do you one better than that. I'll show you.
Show us?
What?
I imagine you also have the candles Mrs. Trent distributed from earlier tonight. Please take them out and light them.
Isn't this nice? Very Christmassy.
When I examined Mr. Starkweather's body, I found what I first thought were a few drops of blood on his bathrobe. Upon closer inspection, they turned out to be another substance entirely. I forgot about those for the moment. When I was interrogating you all individually, I remembered one of you scraping one thumbnail against the other. At the time, I took it to be a nervous gesture. A nervous gesture triggered by guilt, as it turns out. Now, I didn't understand the significance of that gesture until I recalled Minerva's testimony. She reminded me of those of you who had gathered in the kitchen with candles when the lights went out. And a few minutes ago, I noticed these on the floor by the sofa. It was then that I had the link I needed to identify the murderer. Thin scrapings of red tallow. Tallow from the killer's thumbnail. Tallow that matched the red drops on Mr. Starkweather's body. Tallow from the red candle the murderer was holding when she killed Simon Starkweather. Tallow from the one red candle among you, which you are holding, Paula Thompson.
candle.
There aren't. I remember thinking when I took them down from Christmas to order more red ones for next year.
It is the only evidence you have to offer the police, this candle.
No, Paula. I have better proof than that. I just examined Mr. Starkweather's body, and as I was walking around the room a few minutes ago, I glanced at everyone's hands. I noticed that there are several very thin scratches on your wrist, made by Mr. Starkweather, no doubt, as he struggled for his life. I'll bet my reputation that these skin samples I was able to scrape from under his fingernails came from you. It'll be easy enough to prove. I've met quite a few experts in DNA testing in the last 6 months.
Bravo, Miss Davis.
Well,
I don't suppose you consider cloning those scrapings and putting the new man in prison, would you? I didn't think so. I suppose my biggest mistake was trying to cross a lawyer. You know, all of this could have been avoided if you just accepted our little proposal.
why don't you tell us what happened?
Why not? You figured everything else out anyway. Well, I was very disappointed by the old will being deemed invalid. But I was willing to change course and cooperate with the new one. I was here to see Mr. Van Zandt in hopes of striking a deal with him. But words were said and my plans were shot down. So I grabbed my gun to take matters into my own hands. When I was positively sure Great Uncle Simon was alone, I snuck into his room. To kill him, of course. I was planning to shoot him, but I figured it'd be too loud. But just as I was trying to figure things out, that old coot woke up. He ended up backing into his nightstand, letting the lamp down, and the water pitcher right along with it. That's what blew the lights.
So, you didn't cause the blackout deliberately?
No, but when they did, I knew I had to work fast. I looked for his oxygen mask with one hand, and after I quickly lit my candle, and once I found it, I clamped it over that crinkly old face. He only had enough strength to scratch up my wrist before he either passed out or, well, die.
And then?
I cleaned up my mess, blew out my candle, and made my way to the connecting door to Miss Withers' room. Her back was to me, so I hit her with the butt of my gun. I suppose that's when that lawyer was turning my apparent natural death into an apparent murder. When Kathy screamed, I had already made my way down the hall to catch up with the rest of you.
I'm sure you were as shocked as everyone else when you saw the blood pressure cuff around his neck.
Well, I was, but what could I do? It was easy to guess what that lawyer had done. I would have loved to kill you two for ruining everything. But I didn't dare try, of course. Until now.
Whoa, okay.
I don't have much to lose, do I? Don't anybody move.
Easy. You don't want to do anything you might regret.
It's a little too late for that advice, Miss Davis. Get it. You're coming with me.
Where can we go? The bridge is washed out.
I know where that fallen tree is that Simon mentioned. Simon, put your keys on the table.
Yeah, no problem.
You won't get away.
Oh, I think I will. Your cars are on this side of the stream and the phones are still out. It'll take you hours to contact the police. I'll be long gone by then.
Yeah. What about me?
What about you? I would have committed the perfect murder if it weren't for you. What do you think I'm gonna do with you?
Not a thing if I can help it.
Put it right there.
You burned me!
Consider it a preview of the afterlife.
Are you alright?
I'm fine.
I always keep these with me. You never know when cups will come in handy. Let's have them.
Michelle, I'm going to pay you a big bonus.
No problem. Well, you're gonna spend a long, long time behind bars. What do you have to say for yourself?
I'll get you, you son of a lawyer!
Without all of you, and even myself, of course, none of this would have been possible. I'd like to thank a few... Good grief, man, what's the matter?
Can't breathe, that's what happened.
I'm sorry about this. We might as well see what it's about. It's from Mr. Oh, my. Paula Thompson, step forward. It looks as if this is for you.
Oh? Oh, all right then. Hello, everyone. My name is Angela Hess. I played the role of Paula Thompson tonight for your performance. First off, before I get to the point of this speech, thank you all for coming and being such an amazing audience. Now, I'm going to embarrass someone who's very, very dear to our hearts. Mr. Hilliard, how you doing, brother?
To your right. To your right.
Come on. How you doing, brother? Hey, Mr. Huey has never produced a play or directed a play for us. Yes, I'm Before this, Mr. Huey coached basketball. He was a principal. But when you lose your touch in sport ball, you teach drama. All kidding aside, Mr. Huey, you stepped up from, I have no idea what I'm doing, to, I totally got this. I can teach these kids. And all of us here are so, so proud to be a part of your transformation. As all of you have seen, is cast, directed, and ran an astonishing show. We can all agree you've done an absolutely outstanding job, newbie. Thank you so much for putting your time and effort into this production and everything you do. Now, you guys got